Ooh, look at that. Stick on top of the... Oh, what do you think? Really rough. Wow, that's pretty sharp. So we recently picked up this project game. What game is it, you ask? I'll show you in just a second. We also got some great new parts. What do we got? What could it be? Ooh. Is... Wow, very cool. New glass marquee for Rampage. I believe this is a reproduction. Is this the repo? From Sasbo's arcade. That looks really sharp. A lot of times the reds fade in the original, including on the marquee and on the bezel. And so you need to get reproductions. That's really nice. He did a good job. What else do we got? Oh, this one might be... No, that one might be the original. Let's see what we got here. Ah! This is the reproduction from Sasbo's. There we go. This is Plexi Rampage. And this is based on some of the concept art that was originally produced. That's really cool. It's the same size and everything. That's neat. So that's plexiglass. And then I think he even had a fun topper. I like Rampage. Rampage was one of the cool games I remember playing as a kid. It was neat because you could play as the different monsters, but more importantly, you could eat the monsters. So once you lost your power or you died, you shrunk down to become a normal-sized person. And then the other monsters could scoop in and eat you. Which I thought was kind of fun. Oh, very nice. Look at this. This is a plexiglass topper for Rampage. Wow, that's pretty sharp. Again, kind of in that same concept art style. Very cool. What else do we got? Oh, look at these. These are really neat. These are... Oops. These are... I remember seeing these at like the... I guess you'd call it a dollar store. Not a Walgreens, like a Ben Franklin. What's this? Art Flare. 79 cents these guys were. They had these little tabs on them. And you would hang them from... Yeah, let's even got the little hole punch. Yeah, so you could punch them and you could hang them from the ceiling and they would just kind of spin and rotate. And I definitely think that's something we're going to do here. I hate to punch the hole, but look at these. These are original. I got these from my arcade friend, Eric Bose, and these are neat. So that was Star Raiders. I don't think I've actually played Star Raiders. Warlords. Ha! Funny. Warlords. We'll save that. Battle Zone. I don't know that I played Battle Zone either. Atari. Battle Zone. This one's even got a little bit of a signature on it. The old Atari art was amazing because these were, remember the, like if it was Atari 2600, 7800, the games themselves are really rough. And so the art is what really sold the game. It was the imagination, the the detail, the fantasy in the artwork. And then when you actually played it, it was just, boxes and pixels and bloop bloop and nothing really great. Missile Command. So we have our Missile Command. Actually, that's one of the projects that we're going to be working on next. We've got our Missile Command cabinet, which is in really good shape. But it developed a problem with the main board. Everything turned yellow. So once we replace the chip, we'll have Missile Command back on the floor. Oh, what do you think? Missile Command. These are really cool. I don't know where Eric got these. I was looking at these years ago when they were affordable, but now, because again, these are original, probably mid-80s. Let's see what the copyright says. Valley Corporation, 79 cents. Well, I didn't pay 79 cents for these, and anyone still finding these on eBay definitely isn't going to be paying 79 cents for them. Tempest. Oh, wow, look at these. These are crazy. There aren't even guys in Tempest. There's actually no characters in Tempest. It's just those geometric shapes. But somehow someone imagined that there would be weird superheroes playing Tempest. That's bananas. What's this? Asteroids. Well, that's really cool. Asteroids is a fun game, but it doesn't look anything like this. This is actually more similar to Blasteroids, as far as the colors and stuff go. That's really cool. Ooh, and look at this. Something else from Eric. This is a Nintendo topper. That's really cool. This is from Excitebike, and these were sold as part of their Versus kits. So they would come in these plastic cases, which we have several. They would come in these plastic cases. Here's one for Slalom, Hogan's Alley, Duck Hunt, Soccer. Oh, that's a good one. Soccer. So they would come in the plastic cases, and these would be kits that you could update your existing Versus game, and it would usually come with some sort of marquee. It would come with a cardboard topper that you would stick on top of the cabinet. It would come with a chipset that you would then swap out on the PCB. Look at that, so new. It's still got the instructions. And usually it would come with an extra piece of glass for the side-by-side Versus cabinets. You can see it's got an angle cut on the sides, and those would go on one side or the other. And so that's what the kits were. And so you can find these chipsets pretty easily online. But the toppers, not so much. Look, it's even got instructions. Ooh, look at that. And then it would have a separate little instruction card for the red tent, which would be the cocktail that has the head-to-head version. And so these are also really hard to find. You can see it's got a metallic gloss ink on it, so that's original. And they would have in some instructions and tell you how to install the chips, how to do the chips and where to put them on the board. Some brief instructions. So anyway, so this was one. I don't think I had one for Excitebike, but we've got the Excitebike cabinet, or in our Versus cabinet, and so I thought it'd be pretty cool to have an Excitebike topper, and Eric was able to help me out with that. But the main thing that Eric did was he sold me this project. This is a Warlords project. This is a Warlords cocktail table. And I remember playing this at one of my arcade friends' house. This was Brian Armitage had a Warlords cocktail. You can kind of see the glass, if I'm not mistaken. Usually Paradise Arcade, or actually Phoenix Arcade, was screen printing these glass tops for Warlords. But oftentimes they would take these games, if they weren't performing well, the arcade operators, and they would turn them into something else. And so here they turned it into a trivia game. And so this was probably, you can see actually it was, look. You can see the green and the white in the glass. It looks like maybe the Warlords was removed. And so the control panels, all the parts are still in there. We've got the board and the monitor, and you can see by the screen burn in the monitor. Warlords is a really neat. It's kind of like 4-player Pong, where you have 4 castles, 4 players, and each one will control like a cannon, I guess, a ball. And you can deflect it and shoot it at each of your opponents, and then there's a little hole in the middle where once the cannon gets inside your castle, then you lose, or until all your walls, your ramparts are knocked down. This one has the board. It has manual has some parts. Warlords. And for a very simple game, a Pong kind of back and forth game, this is incredibly fun, especially with 4 people. And so I just had to have this. We actually had the opportunity to pick up a Warlords Upright. So that's a stand-up game, and it's only a 2-player game. But the 4-player cocktail version is amazing. We can't wait to get started on this. So anyway, more fun stuff to come from the 2-Bit Game Room.